it's hard leaving here. It's hard leaving Southern California, but I think whenever those interest rates come down, you might see some people. I don't know if they will. What do you think?
Um, life will catch up to a lot of people, and they'll need to move out for a bigger or smaller place, or their kids might leave, or they might have kids, so they're going to end up having to purchase and sell. But I guess my question is more so particular to the people that are able to move. Do you have any inclination where they're actually moving from, like maybe downtown San Diego? They're moving out of there to go to other areas, like I don't know, La Jolla, or areas that tend to be a little bit less crime infested.
I mean, for me, for the longest time, I've been here for 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
I always felt like living in San Diego, and I'm sure everybody in Southern California feels this way. I always felt like living here, everybody talked about how, like, my family back home in the South, like San Diego, and I just felt like I was better than everyone from living here. Like,
Yeah, because
better than, it was like a prestige. Like, the weather
everybody
is so
talks about it.
amazing.
Yeah.
The weather's great. And back in like 2010, it wasn't hard to live here. It was easy. 2011,
Right.
2012.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think I see people leaving? I mean, me personally, we're finally leaving, but I think a lot of people are still. First of all, I think people are trapped. When
So you
cost of
think
living so high, it's hard to save money to get out of here. It's like
right,
it's hard to get on your feet to leave, and that's
right.
kind of a crazy thing. But it's almost easier to stay. I feel like a lot of people might be trapped here, and maybe in their mind.
Yeah, the good thing about San Diego, it's not as bad as other parts of
Mhm.
California. So that's the good
No,
thing.
but it is the most expensive place to live.
Mm-hmm.
As of 3 months ago, U.S. News
They
reported.
said number one or number two.
Well, it's number one because when you combine the cost of living income ratio,
Yeah.
that's what makes it tough. We don't have the salaries of as San Francisco. Whenever like you live in Orange County, LA area.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you heard someone lives in Wichita, didn't you just feel a little bit better than them?
That's
You know,
Nebraska, right?
that's in Kansas, I think.
Oh,
I
well,
could
look
be
it up.
wrong. See, I don't
Yeah, look
even
it up.
know.
Look it up. Yeah, because I don't know where that is. But you're
Okay,
right.
how about this? How about this? You hear someone lives in Cleveland. You're like you're like my life is automatically better than yours because I walk outside, I see sunshine most of the time.
Yeah, for
I
that
don't have to
reason, the
shovel,
weather. Mm-hmm.
but there's trade-offs.
Yeah.
And the real question is like the things that I want to leave San Diego to go live in. A lot of people wouldn't be comfortable in that. You're a real estate agent. You could never live in the middle of nowhere with a lake and Starlink and Wi-Fi. You need to be around people.
I'd have
You're
to
a
move
real estate agent,
professions. Yeah,
and
that's right.
we're both with people who need to be in cities for undisclosed reasons. You know what I
Major
mean?
cities. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So where are we going to go? And I feel like no matter what, you're going to be going to a city. We're never going to go to Wichita, which we still have no idea what state that's in, and we're going to leave it that way.
Yeah,
That's what.
I was about to look it up right now, but all
No,
right.
let's just leave it that
Let's
way.
see
And
if people can comment and tell us where it's at.
that's kind of the metaphor here. Like nobody even knows where Wichita is, right? But in San Diego, Southern California, you have that prestige about it. Like, yeah, we're paying a ton of money, and everybody laughs at us about that. But when we're sitting in traffic, we're literally looking at palm trees in paradise. So it's this prestige
So you
about
look
it.
down and you see other things that you don't want to see sometimes. Not always.
Sometimes you smell things you don't want to smell.
Yeah.
But for the most part, you feel like when you're in this part of America that you're a part of pop culture. You're a part of the vibe of the country. At least a part of the country, right? A big part of the country is the
Right.
coast. And you feel special almost by just being a resident here.
Yeah.
But I will tell you right now that there's a University of San Diego poll that was out, I believe it was 3 months ago, that said the majority of San Diegans would like to leave, would like to relocate.
Just because of prices and stuff.
Just because of how bad it's kind of gotten when it comes to how tight it's gotten.
People are leaving California, and there was a study, and we won't talk about it today because I'm not prepared for it because I haven't looked into it enough. But I want the audience to actually gain insight, and that's why we're not going to talk about it today in depth. But they're saying people around the $200,000 to like $300,000, or even a little bit less than 200,000, people that are making that salary, they're the ones leaving California, and that's why we're seeing millions of people. I think it was like 1.2 million people recently left California. Those people, those are high incoming earners that are leaving the state.
The 10 states that had the highest taxes had the greatest outflow. California, of course, is among those states. But you also had New Jersey, New York, Illinois, other high tax states lose population. People are voting with their feet. But there's something else we uncovered, Chapman uncovered, by looking into the data, IRS data specifically, that an increasing proportion of the people moving out of the state are higher income. We looked at adjusted gross income. So we looked at the IRS has very accurate numbers on people leaving the state and moving into the state. And the reason they have that is because they need to keep tabs on where people are living. We looked at the adjusted gross income of those people who left the state who have AGI, adjusted gross income, over 200,000. If you go back 5 years, the proportion of the people leaving the state that had AGI over 200,000 was roughly 40%. In the most recent year, 2022, it was 70%. So 70% of the adjusted gross income of those leaving the state is being made by people making over $200,000 in AGI. That's why our state is in a fiscal mess. Think of it. If so many people are leaving the state that are high income, that means tax revenues will drop.
Because they're able to. They're capable of leaving.